12-year-old boy walks into a post office for what appears to be a routine post office stop. However, 3 months prior, the post office has been robbed, and he's a suspect in the crime. A vigilant post office clerk calls the authorities. They arrive at the post office and apprehend him before he has a chance to leave. Routine police work. Except, this is 1994. 20 miles removed from Los Angeles proper, where 2 years before there was the Los Angeles riots. And for those of you who weren't born in 1992, that was the outcry of the African American community after some police officers who, per a video, appeared to be using excessive force on a man named Rodney King. They went on trial, and they were acquitted, and the outcry over their acquittal led to riots, protests. About 13 days after the Rodney King video was released, there was a video released of a killing of a young lady, Latasha Harlan, when she was going into a liquor store owned by a woman named Sun Jadu, and she was buying some orange juice, and she was putting it in her backpack, and Sun Jadu thought that she was trying to steal the orange juice, not seeing that she was pulling out the money to pay for it. And so she grabbed the young lady by the arm, and they started tussling with each other. Sun Jadu threw a chair at her. Then Latasha Harlan threw the orange juice back at Sun Jadu and began to walk out. And as she walked out, Sun Jadu shot her in the back of the head. So that was one of the other inciting incidents that led to the Rodney King outcry. And this is important because going back to the post office incident where you had the clerk who called the police, the young man who was apprehended, and the police officer. The police officer was white. The woman, the post office clerk was Asian, and the young man was African American. That young man was me. I walked into the post office delivering or bringing invitations to my graduation party. I was a senior in high school, was very excited. And as I was completing my transaction, I heard some yelling. There was a police officer yelling, "Police, put your hands up, put your hands up." And part of me, my back was to the yelling, so I was completing my transaction, and I realized there's some commotion, maybe there's some danger, maybe there's a thief or some criminal in here. And so I turned around to see what was going on, and the police officer was pointing his gun at me. I immediately complied with what he was asking me to do, spread my hands over the wall, put me in handcuffs, and put me in the back of the police car. While I was in the back of the police car, his partner stayed in with me while he went inside to get more information. And I remember sitting in the back, not saying anything, and the partner was talking to me. He said, "What gang are you from? What gang are you from?" And I calmly told him I'm not in a gang. And he kept asking me what gang I was from, and I told him, "Hey, I go to Cerritos High School. I'm student body president. I'm about to graduate, and just got accepted into UCLA. I'm not a gang member." And he said, "You're too calm. You must be guilty." I kept asking myself why he refused to believe me. Eventually, his partner came back. They said, well, they had talked to the woman and realized it wasn't me. The people who robbed the post office were in ski masks. And so they determined it wasn't me for some reason, but I didn't understand how it could be that I could be detained and how they couldn't believe me. All I know is I remember talking to a family member of mine who's in law enforcement, and I explained this story to him years later, and his response to me was this: a shoulder shrug, as if to say, routine police work.
Discover who you're called to be at Biola University, a leading Christ-centered university in Los Angeles, with programs on campus and online. Subscribe for more of our videos and learn more at biola.edu.